Every unseen moment is a private audition for the person you claim you want to become. What if the version of you that exists when absolutely no one is watching became the most powerful force in your entire life? Picture a 24-year-old alone in an empty parking lot holding a wallet that isn't his. Now picture that same man, 15 years later, leading a company whose core value is written on every wall. We are who we are when no one is looking. Tonight we trace the invisible revolution of Caleb Foster, who discovered that integrity is not a public performance. It is a private practice, and every secret choice is a brushstroke on the masterpiece of a life. Caleb was 24, broke, and desperate. He had just been passed over for a promotion at the logistics firm where he loaded trucks at 4 a.m. The raise would have covered his mother's medical bills. Instead, the supervisor, a man who golfed with the boss, gave it to his own nephew. Caleb drove home through rain that felt personal. At a red light, he noticed a leather wallet on the passenger seat of the unlocked car beside him. The window was cracked. One reach, and it would be his. The light turned green. No cameras, no witnesses, just the storm and his heartbeat. He sat there until horns blared. Then he did something that changed everything. He got out, knocked on the stranger's window, and handed the wallet back. The man, middle-aged, distracted, grateful, tried to give him $100. Caleb refused. "Just pay it forward," he said, voice shaking. He drove away with nothing but a strange electricity in his chest. That night he wrote in a spiral notebook he bought for 99 cents. Day 1. Did the right thing when no one would ever know. Felt like I grew a new bone. The notebook became his secret chapel. Every day he recorded one unobserved act of integrity. Returned the extra change when the cashier was crying over her phone. Cleaned the break room microwave no one ever cleaned. Admitted to the mistake in the inventory report, even though deleting one line would have saved his skin. Helped the elderly neighbor carry groceries up 3 flights, though he was late for his second job. No likes, no applause, just ink and conscience. At 26, the firm downsized. Caleb was laid off with a cardboard box and a generic handshake. He applied everywhere. One interviewer, a woman with sharp eyes named Mara, asked the question no one else did. "Tell me about a time you did the right thing when it cost you something and no one would ever find out." Caleb froze. Then he told her about the wallet, the microwave, the inventory lie he didn't tell. Mara hired him on the spot for an entry-level operations role at her supply chain startup. "I don't need brilliant," she said. "I need unbreakable." The startup grew like wildfire. Caleb rose quietly. Never the loudest in the room, always the one who fixed the printer at 2 a.m., who owned delays before clients noticed, who refused to cut corners even when investors screamed for margins. Mara made him COO at 31. The company went public at 34. On the day the stock began trading, Caleb stood on the floor of the exchange, watching numbers climb into the hundreds of millions, and felt the same electricity as that rainy night with the wallet. He gathered the entire company, now 4,000 people, for the first all-hands after the IPO. The auditorium was packed. Cameras rolled. Caleb took the stage in a plain black t-shirt. No slides, just the old spiral notebook in his hand, edges frayed, pages yellowed. "I need to tell you a story," he began. 15 years ago, I was a broke night shift worker who found a wallet that could have changed my life. I gave it back. No one saw. No one cared. But something in me woke up that night, and it has guided every decision I've made since. He opened the notebook and read entry after entry. The microwave, the inventory, the 1,000 tiny, invisible choices. When he finished, the room was silent enough to hear tears falling. Then he said the sentence that became legend. "This company will never be worth billions because of what we do when the cameras are on. It will be worth billions because of what we refuse to do when they're off." He tore out the first page, the wallet story, and pinned it to a massive corkboard behind him. "From today, this board is called the Unseen Wall. Every time you choose integrity when no one is watching, write it down, sign it, pin it. Your name will never appear on a leaderboard, but it will appear here, and it will matter more than any revenue report. Within weeks, the wall was covered, anonymous at first, then bravely signed. Told the vendor we overpaid them $47,000, even though the contract was in our favor. Stayed 3 hours late to fix my own coding error instead of pushing it to QA. Returned the lost phone in the airport bathroom, though my flight was boarding. The culture shifted like tectonic plates. Turnover plummeted. Clients spoke of an inexplicable trust. Competitors couldn't replicate the loyalty. Forbes called it the integrity premium. Analysts valued it at 40% of market cap. At 39, Caleb received a letter on heavy cream paper. Inside was a single $100 bill and a note in shaky handwriting. You told me to pay it forward 15 years ago. I just sold my company. This is the first 100 I ever made from it. Thank you for teaching me who to become when no one was looking. No signature, just the faint scent of rain and leather. Caleb framed the bill beside the original wallet page. The unseen wall now spans 3 office floors and an online mirror visited by millions. People from every continent pin digital notes. The company donates $1 to charity for every entry. The fund has reached 9 figures. Every year, on the anniversary of the rainy night, Caleb disappears. No one knows where he goes. Security footage shows him leaving the building with the old spiral notebook. Rumor says he drives to random parking lots, leaves envelopes with cash and a note, "Be the person here that you wish the world could see." No cameras ever catch the recipients' faces. At 40, Caleb stepped down as CEO. The board begged him to stay. He smiled. My job was never to run the company. It was to prove that who we are in the dark determines how brightly we shine in the light. He now travels the world anonymously, teaching children in underfunded schools one sentence: the moments no one sees are the ones that make you. The company still thrives. The stock has split 4 times. But every new hire, from intern to executive, receives the same welcome gift: a blank spiral notebook and a single instruction written on the first page in Caleb's handwriting. This is not for your accomplishments. This is for your unseen choices. Fill it slowly. Fill it honestly. One day, you will realize the person you've been practicing to become has arrived, and no one saw him coming because he was built in the dark. The greatest revolution is silent. The greatest power is invisible. The greatest life is assembled one unobserved moment at a time. The question is no longer, who are you when the world is watching? The question is, who are you right now, reading this alone? Close the tab, open your notebook, write today's date, and begin.